Hello, welcome to another program in the series, Homo Politicus, reaching you on Enterprise TV. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today we look at this issue, crunch time in Edo State politics. Oshomole expresses regrets again. In his 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, who insists that he is a realist, states in law number 11 that learn to keep people dependent on you. Political power, I must tell you, is persuasive since politics itself is a zero-sum business. The governorship election in Edo State is not until September 21st, 2024, but the build-up hots up. The APC, that's the All Progressives Congress, intent on wresting power from the PDP, is not leaving any stone unturned or any turn unstoned. The senator representing Edo North District, Adams Aliyu Oshomole, has expressed remorse for mistreating the immediate past senator representing Edo South Senatorial District, Matthew Urohide, in his first stint in the APC. Oshomole was welcoming him and other defectors into the party at Benin. Remember that in politics, friendship and enmity, we are told, are never permanent. Only interest is. Question: is the All Progressives Congress on course in Edo State? My discussant today is the broadcaster, communications expert, Cyril Abakri. Cyril, I welcome you.
Thank you, Citizen Jones.
Edo State politics. Well, Cyril, Edo is said to be the heartbeat of the nation.
Yes.
Edo State politics has something viral about it.
I agree with you.
Anything that happens in Edo appears to happen nationwide.
Yes.
So we're there again.
Yes, we're there again. Fortunately, let's give a little background to the story. Next year's governorship election has about 18 candidates in the running. In a manner of speaking, well, in no particular order, you have the APC, you have the PDP, which is the governing party in the state, you have the Labour Party, you have considerably the NNPP.
Okay.
And then 14 others thereabout. We're all jostling for Osadolo House, Osadebe House.
The plum job, okay.
Yeah, for the plum job in Osadebe House. But I think that the APC feels it's been left out of the loop for too long. And it is seeking to mend fences very desperately. Two things are happening. One is that all of the post-primary litigations that have been taking place in courts are being withdrawn. As I speak with you, the last case about to be withdrawn, we hear will so happen on May the 8th.
Okay.
The contestants will go to court and say they are taking off. So don't be surprised if you hear that the court has struck out a contest. Yes, challenging the outcome of the APC primaries that brought Mondo Pebolo as governorship candidate. You understand that the first primaries that was done produced at least 3 winners. One was Mondo Pebolo himself, the other one was Dennis Daosa, and there was another one again.
In short, it became contentious.
It became extremely contentious.
Yeah.
Denko, that's Dennis Daosa, who said he also won. In fact, he was the one that Hope Uzodinma said was the hope of the party in the elections. And then the National Party chairman, Ganduje, also came out and said he was happy that Daosa had won. But clearly, it was beyond them. It was beyond them. When the clamor became very, very serious, they had to now call for a rerun, a fresh primary election. So if even the candidate who the establishment appeared to favor and was declared to have won could not prevent a rerun, it shows that within the APC there are powers that have seismic properties. So they are forced, and in the rerun, Senator Pablo clearly won. In fact, he won so much that it now took the humility of Adams Oshomole, who is supposed to be the godfather of Dennis the Hausa, to come and say, you know what, for us to have peace, the Hausa will become the deputy governor to Okpebolo. In any case, that didn't also come easy. There was a storm. I think that for the storm to settle, politicians have a way of creating fires where there's none, if only to have a bargaining power.
So most of the problems we see are deliberate.
No, they are man-made.
Deliberate.
Of course they are, and by choice. So if only to give them a bargaining stake, which of course they were able to get. But looking at it in a holistic sense, the APC has done well so far. Because not only have they been able to quell the angst and disaffection that came with the primary process, now they've been able to mend fences. I suspect that they are postponing the rainy day until later. I'll come to that. But for now, what they've done is commendable. Over the weekend, I think it was on Saturday, at the time Oshomole was receiving the defectors from the PDP into the APC, two things happened. One was that it was commending Senator Matthew Rogide and saying, welcome back to the party. I apologize to you
for what I did.
For what I did in the past. In fact, what I did was even counterproductive because it came back to haunt me. It came back to haunt the party. So what it did against him even worked in Matthew's favor, which means that Senator Matthew Rogide is a force to reckon with, right? And then there were 9 other people that also defected. Former council chairman from the PDP. So clearly, there appears to be what somebody may consider to be a seismic shift, a major shift from the PDP to the APC. Not to mention that the Labour Party may not be faring at its best. Not to also may say that Pastor, I can't pick his name now, is he Azedo also, the televangelist who is the chairman of, who is the candidate of the NNPP.
Yeah.
We haven't had much. Yes, from him. But the defection appears to have worked in favor of the APC for now. And they can only swell their ranks and hope that with such talent density, they'll be able to make it count at the polls. Yeah. So we wait for how they're able to translate these gains into practical points at the ballot.
What you have said brings to mind this element of, big powers, or if you like, godfathers in politics. They seem to have become substitutes for democracy.
Yes, they've become, and it's dangerous. Now, I hear people make all kinds of arguments. I will tell you that in the happiest of countries, there are... So, because even the word godfather for me is a very uncharitable term. It is inauspicious. It is inauspicious. We, in this part of the world, we seem to shudder away from civilization. When you hear the Americans say, buy American, it says everything. When they say, buy American, here we say, buy made in Nigeria. Sometimes I wonder what we like. Even Shakespeare said it many centuries ago. He said, brevity is the soul of wit. We just come and, we like verbosity. We like things that are out of the ordinary. Even when they lead nowhere. Now, you can have mentors. You can have seniors. If you go and check the records of, let's even say, beginning from Nixon. Nixon is even a bit too far. Let's say from Carter.
Okay.
From Carter to Reagan to Bush Sr. to Clinton to Bush Jr. to Obama to Trump and then to Biden. You will see familiar names and faces. Either as senator, chief of staff to the president.
In the background.
Speech, you will see them.
Yeah.
You will see them.
Yeah.
In fact, Biden has been a senator since he was in his 30s, I think. You will see him. Biden had been among the senators who ideologically didn't stand on the same page with the Soviets for a long time. So when he becomes president, there's a track record. He's been there for years. Yeah. And you can't tell me, if he was even a legislative assistant to a senator, he was understuding the person.
Yeah.
But in our own climate,
that makes him an institution.
I will call it I will call it mentoring.
Okay.
I will call it godfather. What does godfather mean? It's like godfather, somebody you go and surrender all your life and your wisdom and your logic to.
But that's what happens in my environment, your environment.
Excuse me, you know why? Because words frame perception, and perception frames reality. And reality becomes life. That's what they say, perception is everything. The terms we use are so uncharitable. They are so plebeian. They are so they lack quantity.
But are you surprised that our politicians behave in a Machiavellian manner?
No, but this is where we are, right? So sometimes you even hear that someone has defected. Defections can be purchased.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Defections can be purchased. Can be purchased. Because look, very soon in Edo State, you will hear, as has always been the case, you may hear that one party that you've never even heard of won a landslide in a particular senatorial zone. Or that the candidate people know that is likely going to come a distant third or fourth, won the election.
Yeah.
Or even the APC or PDP, one of them know that they've lost ground and that they've been saving face all through the campaign season. They will suddenly wake up and tell you that a poll, polls now, pre-election polls, will come and say the candidate of the PDP won by a landslide. If they don't use that one, they'll use prophets. They say a prophet has prophesied that the candidate of the APC is going to be the next governor of Edo State. And you see, when they do these things, two things are going to happen. One is that they are creating the lacuna that will enable them to now rig.
Okay.
Because they've thrown a kite that they know people are going to believe. And when they do that, what would happen? The rest of the world, of the state, people will not believe, oh, it's going to win. In fact, even those who should vote say, they've already said it's going to win, whether I vote or not. So with that now, they can now rig their way. So when they say he won by 58%, people say, well, of course, it was already, the poll said it, or the prophet said it. Therefore, let's not challenge it anymore.
We saw this coming. Now, let's look at incumbency factor.
So the argument with incumbency is not very straightforward.
Okay. It's not vague either.
Well, so let me lay it out.
Okay.
You know that at the time Mr. Obaseki was going to be governor of Edo State, he came in as an APC candidate, APC governor. He won as an APC governor. All right? Now, having won his seat as governor of Edo State, he was to seek re-election and wouldn't get a ticket from the APC. In fact, he had to now decamp or defect to the PDP.
Yeah.
If you recall...
But also recall that this same Oshomole regretted fielding him.
And no, of course he did. He did. In fact, a series of events happened within that period.
Okay.
Two of them that I'll give you now. One was that Obaseki also orchestrated Oshomole's suspension from the APC. In my language, they say the learner has now overwhelmed his tutor. The teacher. That bought the money, that's what they say, So that's what happened between Obaseki and Oshomole. The tutor, the learner, the apprentice now came to overwhelm his tutor. Now, when that happened, in order for Obaseki to win a second term, he went to the PDP. Then, our current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, recorded a video in which he denounced Obaseki and advised him not to seek a second term. I don't know if you recall that event. There was a video that was aired on national TV. It was aired. After he had won a second term, we recall again also that Obaseki began to say that the federal government was not implementing the right economic policies, that they were doing things like printing monies to pay salaries. They denied it at the time. I don't know whether it was denouncing Buhari or denouncing the APC government. But whatever the case is.
Or something in between.
Or something in between. So, I want to think that if it is incumbency as to Abuja incumbency, he is not, the APC, the Mr. President is very close to Mr. Oshomole, who is putatively the godfather of politics in Edo State. And so if it is federal might, if they're able to deploy it in the way that they normally like to deploy it in certain places, it means they may win.
So
in Edo State. But
yeah,
if Mr. Governor, which is the second leg of it, if Mr. Governor is able to now deploy his own troops
the troops in his arsenal.
as governor of Edo State. So it now remains to
So
be seen.
fireworks.
Of course, can the state incumbency maneuver federal incumbency? These are now the two things that we want to look at.
Well, keeps the viewer guessing, you know.
Yeah, it keeps him guessing because, again, the argument is very strong. Edo South has more votes than Edo Central and Edo North combined.
Okay.
And Governor Basiki is Edo South. Either for that, and Governor Shomole is Edo North.
But what? Yeah, I agree.
It was
But
that
what about the spread?
No, I mean, it does it matter? Spread means you don't need to win in certain places. You only need to have percentages.
Okay.
Right? But the bulk of the vote has to now come from a particular part. So if that is the case, okay, Oshomole overlooked his ally and friend, Philip Shaibu, initially. Because Shaibu is Edo North. So when Oshomole was leaving office, he said, no, let's give power to Edo South, where the votes will come from in higher numbers. Which he did, and the people in the South voted for their son, Obaseki, to win the election.
Okay.
Now, Obaseki wants to leave office.
The shoe is in the other leg.
Sure. Now, Obaseki is about to leave office. And he being Edo South, his similar predecessor being Edo North, prefers that Edo Central produces the governor, the next governor. Philip Shaibu says...
Plausible argument.
Plausible argument, really. Shaibu says no. That even if he's Edo North, he should also, his boss should be considerate enough to give him power. But like they say on the streets, it ain't going to work. That was the reason for the dissonance that both men came to have. Except that one would have thought that with the impeachment of Mr. Shaibu, his case was closed. But obviously it's not. Because he is up against an armada of machinations.
But Shaibu has not taken a dive yet.
How are we sure?
Or you think you are hearing the voice of Esau and...
No.
Okay.
No. Shaibu's house in the GRA. He has woken up. Yesterday, he suddenly found out that bulldozers came and took away the security post of his residence. What is the guarantee that his own house will not come down?
Come down now, and not when he was deputy governor.
Of course, he's out of power.
So part of the interest.
What influence can he wield?
Oh boy.
What influence can he wield?
So if he takes a dive now, in a manner of speaking, if he goes back home, does it change anything?
Oshomole
or does it change the dynamics?
Shaibu.
If he goes back to the APC.
Shaibu.
Shaibu.
Well, at the time he had the fallout with his boss, who was two of them now. One was Oshomole. He fell out originally. He fell out with him. And it was much to Oshomole's
advantage.
Chagrin.
Okay.
Because he didn't see it coming.
Okay, I see what you mean.
He didn't see it coming, yes. He sided with Obaseki to denounce Oshomole. Good. Deputy governor, they came back into office. They won re-election. Now, as governor and deputy, Oshaba is also falling out with Obaseki. And at the time he fell out, maybe there were attempts to go run back to the APC and to try to now use the toga of victimhood to attempt to assert himself into the APC and to win the ticket. Oshamale said that the APC didn't have any space for political IDPs. What's the word now? Internally displaced persons.
Yeah,
they didn't have space for this place.
Yeah. But Cyril, is it a fact of politics or natural that politicians will refuse to read the writing on the wall?
No, a mentor of mine told me one time that politicians are very hopeful people.
Yeah.
In the Bible, I think it was in Romans chapter 4, when they said Abraham hoped against hope. I hope I'm not misquoting it. Abraham hoped against hope. that though his own body was dying, he believed that he will have a son, Isaac. It was past him to have to bear children, not just himself, but him and the wife. But they kept on hoping against hope. So politicians are like that. They hope against hope. They believe in spite of facts, in spite of themselves. They keep on believing. You know, it's like living in a fool's paradise. Because sometimes that hope now begins to burden on fraud. If really,
but the business itself, politics that is not predictable.
It looks like a game of chance.
Okay.
But again, looking at politics as a game of chance should rather be the exception in certain cases and not the norm. For even if it was for academic purposes, let me give an example. 1979, Nigerians went to the polls to elect a president. Was it going to be Shagari, Awolowo, or Zik? It wasn't clear. Or Balarab, no, or any of the parties really.
Yeah.
Or one of the parties.
GNPP, Waziri Ibrahim,
and
or NAP.
Yes.
Tunji Braithwaite.
Braithwaite, yes. The Nigerian Advanced Party of Braithwaite. You know, Braithwaite said back then in 1983 that if his party was elected into power, they would wipe out all the mosquitoes in Nigeria. And that was how people felt that these people are children. They may not have the answers to the problems of this country. But let's come back. It was unlikely. When the matter went to the Supreme Court of Shagari vs. Awolowo to 10 of 19 states, you recall that the Supreme Court nostalgically, and I remember it, ruled that Shagari had won the election, but that the method of their judgment should not be cited for precedence. That it was for exigency, it was for exigencies. It was much later, Justice Graham Douglas now said that they had to award the judgment to Shagari in Shagari's favor because Raffia dancers had already started dressing and rehearsing at race course in Lagos.
Meaning?
We also later had that presidents around the world, including I think the King of Saudi Arabia, had started congratulating. So on account of these social factors, a Supreme Court of a land could overlook and jettison the legal merit of a case. Those are very rare cases. I've not seen happen before. Happen after. So that's where I'm going. That the idea of politics being a game of chance shouldn't really be the norm. Where that becomes the norm, it means that that thing has become a climate of serious conspiracies. People sitting behind the wheels and just orchestrating whatever it is they like.
The producer's index finger is saying wind up. So let's attempt to bury this subject matter. It is crunch time, if you see what I mean, in Edo State politics. So do you see the weight of Oshiomhole bearing down on what's going on there, or the incumbency factor playing out, winning the diadem, as they say? Difficult to tackle?
Difficult. My heart tells me this could be Obaseki's for Toulouse. My mind tells me Oshiomhole may be coasting to victory. Yeah, but history tells me, I haven't really seen any particular political movement or campaign that Oshiomhole either initiated, orchestrated, and then went on to deliver successfully. I haven't seen before. I haven't seen anything he personally led, initiated, and led. If he was that powerful, if he was that powerful, he couldn't even as much as anoint a candidate for the governorship of the APC in Edo State. It doesn't.
But I'm reminded in this connection of the saying of the late French dictator, Napoleon Bonaparte. He said, in politics, stupidity is not a handicap.
It is not, because it works to somebody's advantage. And if you look at, even when the APC was about to get their governorship candidate through the primaries, Oshiomhole was doing more of talking. Very little in terms of strategy. In fact, it was as if the party leaders in the state waited for him to come and prove that he could really do something. And in the end, he couldn't do anything. So if they are backing Oshiomhole to lead the charge in Edo State, it may be an error of judgment.
Okay. Okay.
And that may be their
Achilles.
heels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we rest it here.
Sure, it's fine.
So anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
From now.
Sure.
Okay, we are out of here, but not before thanking you for your time. Until the next time, let me thank Cyril Abaku, broadcaster communications expert. Cyril, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Citizen John.
Both of us, you and us here, agree that the coming days will be full of fireworks and what have you in Edo State. Until the next time, from the Homo Politicus studio of Enterprise TV, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein saying bye-bye now. Take care. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.